Cinzia from Cinzia The Eclipse. Welcome to SnobCast. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you for you're the one who reached out, so it's kind of nice.
Well, that's like an extra reason that I need to say thank you because it's so funny. I forgot why I ended up on the concert goers Instagram, and I was like, these are really cool reviews. Like, what? Well, not reviews, but this is like a cool page. What's going on? And then I totally forgot that it was you and Jess, and I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna reach out to Gianni. Like,
Yeah. And actually, it's so funny. We're restarting concert goers like this week. So,
oh, weird. The
yeah.
universe was getting me ready for it, clearly.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you. I'm hiding my face because, as I said, I there's like sun just beaming through and the curtains are drawn. So,
Hmm.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
How you been doing? What's going on? There's so much happening. Are you in Montreal?
no, I
Mm.
moved to Toronto like 5 months ago. Uh, so yeah, it's been a little bit of a whirlwind, to be honest. I moved 5 months ago, started releasing music again because I haven't released in like 3 years, which is why I reached out to you. I'm like, if I'm gonna do interviews and podcasts and stuff, I want it to be a little more like people I know and have it feel like home again because I feel like
Yeah.
I'm like sort of getting back to my roots a little bit, especially as like a folk pop artist. I feel like I pushed away from that and sort of went this pop route with the last single. And I'm glad that it only took me a single to realize that, like, this doesn't feel like me. So, my whole goal and vision with this new single coming out on September 22nd, Back to Being Friends, is just getting back to that, like, real
The
wholesome.
core.
Exactly, getting back to the core. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, who's at the core? It's not like trying to hunt down these big blogs and magazines. It's like, where are the people that were there from square one?
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's how I ended up on concert goers.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
you were just like, maybe you were drinking and like you're just like scrolling and you're like, what the
know.
hell is this?
Like hitting up an old ex. I was just scrolling
Yeah.
through old interviews and was like, such a
I
fan.
want to mention something. You mentioned that the single before this one, Back to Being Friends, which was just for fun, right?
Just for fun,
So
yeah.
that's the one you realized, okay, this is too poppy. Is that what you?
I wouldn't even say too poppy. It's just it's not a message I think that I connect with anymore. I think when I wrote it with an artist, uh it felt great at the time and it was actually supposed to be a single for her and we all just sort of realized it's such a good song. We don't want it to sort of get buried and die
Hmm,
in like the catalog of unreleased. So we were like, let's just release it as Cinzia The Eclipse. And it sounded like fun and it sounded great. And I loved the idea of releasing it. It's truly when we did release it and I was promoting it that I was like, what am I promoting? What am I trying to say here?
whoa.
Yeah, and it was such a big moment of like no regret, definitely not, because I don't think that would have happened if I didn't have um this sort of situation come up. But I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. And that's not
Interesting.
fun. You know, that's not the person I am. That's not the artist I am. So it was sort of like, okay, cool. We learned that. Let's get back to us. And Back to Being Friends wasn't even going to be released on, well, I don't think ever. This was sort of a back catalog song too. And I was like, no, this song holds a lot of emotion for me and is about someone I really care about. And that's where I'm at, you know?
Interesting.
So
I like you said, we were going back to the basics and things, and like I think I've been following you since the beginning. And you're very candid and you're very open about your process of songwriting. And so like you're saying Back to Being Friends, was like on the back burner for a long time. How long have you been writing this fucking song?
Oof, I think Back to Being Friends is about, it's a year and a half old.
Okay.
It's not super old, but I wrote it a year and a half ago when I got dumped for the first time in a very long time. So it was
Okay.
a bit of a
So
shock.
so by being broken up with, like
Mm,
this, that was kind of like a punch to the gut,
yeah.
and you were like, I need to go back and I need to like
Yeah. What was
rehatch this song.
yeah, a little bit. And what was so funny about that song is that I was I was so blindsided by this breakup because it was like a long distance relationship. And we just got on FaceTime one night and he, good for him, he stayed true to himself and was like, here's where I'm at, here's what I need, here's what I don't need. Which like anyone who knows me knows that I very much prefer honesty to people faking anything
Yeah, no
anytime.
bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. This is why we get along. It's a really no bullshit situation in my life with everything. Well, and it goes back to releasing music. Like I don't want to release things that I don't connect with. I don't want to be a part of or be associated with things that are bullshit, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So we had that conversation and I literally thought it was a joke because we were such like jokesters all the time. And I was like, okay, whatever.
And
Um
he's like, no, like this is it.
He's like, no, for real. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, and it was I remember going to the studio and talking with Luca, who I started working with from day one,
yeah.
just being upset that I wasn't upset. I'm like, I want to be mad about this. I'm hurt and I can't hate this person and I hate that. I hate that I can't hate them.
Because he was a
And
good dude. He was a good dude.
yeah, and like we're still friends now, like
Yeah.
we took some time apart to like, get away from it all. And now we're friends again and stuff. But I think that was the hard part is that we were friends before we dated. So it was like, well, are we losing all of this now? Like, do I not get my friend back
Mm.
just because it didn't work out romantically? And that's when we sort of became friends again. But before that, I wrote the song Back to Being Friends, and it's just about how like it was something so special and now it's gone, but like, do we really have to lose everything? Can we get back to being the people that we were, like without the sex, essentially?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you mentioned that in the song, and it's a beautifully written song, but it also kind of makes you feel good in a way.
Oh,
Um,
good.
yeah, like it's a sad song, but it's that's one thing I talk about with my friends all the time is I love music that makes that the lyrics are like actually like heartbreaking, but
Mm,
the melody makes you feel so good, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
I can conquer the world, and like
yeah.
this is a good example of a song like that. And I was listening to it before we came on here, and um, I mean, it's definitely like hit material. I don't know what the hell like
Thank
people are
you.
sitting on. Like just wake up and shit. Uh,
We're trying. There's a lot of music out there, so
it is insane. Like,
yeah.
uh, how do you like how what really? This is not even on my question list, but like, what makes you want to continue doing it? Because it's difficult, especially in Canada. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I think it's probably difficult everywhere, but here for some reason, I don't know what it is.
I think it's so simple and so heartbreaking at the same time, but I
Mm.
have to. I have to. There's no
This is your calling.
what is my purpose if I'm not? Like I've like had, oh my God, am I gonna cry?
It's okay.
Oh my
It's
God.
fine. Let's cry together. I've been emotional today too, so
Cry
it's fine.
together. But no, because you're so right. It's very difficult to be an independent artist, and I'm fully independent right now. I
Yeah.
left my management. Um,
Why
you know,
was that? Why did you do that?
it just didn't feel like the right vision anymore. We didn't see we it's again going back to those roots, right? And being like, okay, I need to center myself and work with myself to know. what I'm putting out there before I introduce other parties involved.
Mhm.
Um, so that being said, there's no bad blood or anything. It's just genuinely I need to get back to me and put out what I need to put out, and what I know I need to put out, not to be on the radio and be, signed or working with people at a certain stature, but to get back to what I want to be making for me and for the people who listen to my music. And that's, that goes back to your question of why do you do it? It's so difficult. I have to.
Yeah.
There's nothing, there's nothing else that I can do that brings what this brings. And it's hard, but I love it. So even
You're
though
so cute. Stop.
it's so hard, and like again, I moved to Toronto for this and I love Montreal.
You're a Montreal girl. Like, sorry to say it, but like, you're a
I
Montreal
know.
girl. Like,
I'm a Montreal girly. But like that's just to say how much like, making music and making something that connects with people and playing shows and seeing people's faces, like it's all so worth it. And like the only thing that I truly could do, you know?
yeah.
I did not expect this today.
Neither
Gee.
did I. But no, but I mean, you made a huge step, and you said you 5 months now. You're in Toronto.
Yeah.
Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you miss about home besides your family, obviously, and your friends?
I love Toronto. I really do. And I think there's different aspects that Toronto brings that Montreal doesn't have, and there's different aspects of Montreal that Toronto doesn't have. And like both places really do feel like home. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, it's weird. I didn't expect to feel that way about Toronto. Um, but I don't think I'd be the creative that I am if I wasn't from Montreal.
Mm,
Like in Montreal, we allow ourselves the time to, breathe and go for like a 2-hour walk from
yeah.
like Montreal North all the way to the Mile End just
Yeah.
because we're walking.
It's on the
Uh,
way. Yeah.
it's on the way, right? And I'm like, I'm such a pain in the ass when it comes to that because I'll be like, yeah, it's a 5-minute walk, and we end
I'm
up
the same
walking
way.
for like 5 minutes.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
It's
Actually,
so bad.
yeah. I actually was in Toronto a few months ago, and uh I was actually in town for a show, and I kept telling my friend who I was with, I was like, it's just 2 blocks. It's just two
Yeah,
blocks. It was like 45 minutes, you know? I'm like, oh,
yeah.
just come on.
But it doesn't feel that way.
No,
That's the
that's
thing. Like if you're in an area where it's like just beautiful to walk, it feels like 5 minutes, so it's fine. And
yeah,
like, to be honest, I do the same thing in Toronto. If anything, I walk more
yeah,
here, which
yeah.
is weird. But yeah, the city has a lot going on for it. Like, there was the Polaris Music Gala last night.
How was
That
it?
was a good time. Oh, it was so
It was your
fun.
first one.
My first one I attended. It was exciting, and I think what I like about Toronto, and people might argue with me on this, is that I just think people genuinely want to connect. You just have to find the right people,
Yeah,
and like you're in a room with all these other artists, other people in the industry who want to talk to developing artists and new artists. So it's exciting to mention to someone, oh, I have a song coming out this Friday. And they're like, oh, tell me about that.
yeah.
Like just hearing someone tell me about that, ah, please.
It's speaking your language.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about yourself. And like sometimes people don't want to hear it, and you're like, cool, walk away. That's it.
Asshole. Yeah, no.
You said
Um,
it.
yeah, no, I said it. I'm okay. This is SnobCast after all. I
Ah,
want to talk again. I might make you cry or not. I don't know. I want to talk
mhm.
about your ETL Fest performance.
Mm.
Mm, you're like shit. This is about my new song. Um,
No, I mean, we played it at Etel Fest, so that was fun.
oh, you did. You played Back to Being Friends there.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
So,
But I want to
um,
know the deeper meaning about ETL Fest to you, and why it was so special for you to perform there this summer. That's a festival in
yeah,
Montreal for those listening.
yeah. Etel Fest is a festival in Montreal that happens in Little Italy. And if you know my music, you know that I wrote a whole EP called Little Italy because I lived there for 3 years, 4 years, something like that. And it is by far the fondest memories I've had when it comes to creating music and just living life. It was a very big part of my life, living there, which is why I named the EP that. And I had I reached out to Etal Fest saying, "Hey, this is a really like this hits home."
I'm
I
sorry.
can't remember
Again,
what.
you're just doing your own PR. You're just reaching out to people. You're like, listen, Etal Fest.
Yeah,
I want to perform here.
it's so funny because I'll like talk with other indie artists and they're like, "What's your secret weapon? What are you doing?" And I'm like, I annoyingly talk to people, like no joke. That's I'm just like, hey, what's up? This is happening, and I want to be a part of it. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know, people need community, man. We like talking to each other. We like hearing that what we're doing is affecting someone in a positive way, and that's exactly why I reached out to Ethos Fest, and why I reached out to you. Like,
Yeah.
it's things that I enjoy and want to do, and like that being said, you could totally edit this out because I'm just gonna like blow up your head now.
No, no, I
But
love this. This
okay,
podcast is
good.
unedited, so just keep going.
Oh, even better. But it's just like it genuinely is like, okay, what are people doing that I actually like?
Yeah.
And I feel like there's so much bullshit in life and especially in entertainment industries of like, oh, well, I want to be on this podcast because they have this many views, and I want to be on this show because that'll get me here. And it's like, that's fantastic. And I totally get that. But like, don't you also want to have a good time doing it?
Yeah.
Like, don't you want to work and talk with people that you actually enjoy? And that's again why I reached out to you. Why I reached out to Etop. That's because it was something that I saw the year before and really enjoyed. I sent an email like as soon as the festival was done. Didn't hear back from them. And then we played a show at Pitsy Campus,
Hmm.
and I didn't even know that the organizers were at that show, but they reached out this summer saying, "Hey, we saw you play. We'd love if you could come play at Etop Fest. We got your email." And like I can't remember what I said, but I was just saying how like it's really important as um an Italian Montrealer. My grandparents are no longer with us. There's I feel like with time you sort of feel a disconnect going on with your heritage, especially when you don't speak the language as much anymore.
Interesting.
You're not interacting as much anymore. So it was like something important to me that just it was a musical endeavor that I wanted to do, and it was sort of a way to grasp that that life that I grew up with of like, making tomatoes in the backyard
Hmm.
or making sausages downstairs or squishing the wine grapes with your grandfather, and like so yeah, it was just a way to reconnect with that. And I thought that's all that it was. And then when they emailed me saying you're gonna be playing, it hit me really hard, and I swear to God, I'm not a crier, but apparently I am now. But I like bursted into tears, um, mostly because I lived with my grandmother for like a year or so, and I would like sing in the spare bedroom all the time, and not once would she tell me to like quiet down,
Yeah.
even though it was really annoying because I couldn't really sing that well then. But it just brought back a lot of memories. And my grandmother and I were very close. We have the same birthday,
Oh,
so
amazing.
I know automatically the favorite of the family.
Yeah. I was a favorite too.
Um,
So
you get it, yeah.
I was the only boy. So yeah.
Oh, that's why, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, it was great. And then playing the show uh was also fantastic. It was like they really offered me an opportunity of playing the biggest stage that I have
Yeah.
when it comes to like festivals and stuff. And I really wanted to do right by it. So I hired Julian, my guitarist, who has been with me since the beginning, who is an incredible producer. And like, he's not even a session musician, but we're just such good pals that he's like, yeah, I got you. And then hired Jay as the drummer. And he just kicked the show to like a new level that I'm so excited to bring to Montreal on October 13th.
Yeah.
It's going to be with the new band, and it's just elevated to a place where I want it to be. You know,
There's
uh,
something about getting like a live band together, and there's no like you're not pushing any buttons to like have a sound. Like you're actually like creating the music live. It's like
Mm,
it's another,
yeah.
it's another format, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like, listen, if I could be on tour most of the year for the rest of my life,
You're happy.
yeah, I will not complain. So the fact of like, bringing Jay into the live shows and stuff, he built this show up. And unfortunately, you're gonna miss that show.
I will.
You always have family
It's
engagements on
so
those
weird. Yeah.
shows.
And I have a small family. I don't know how this is always happening, but
They have
I,
good we have good dates in mind. That's the thing.
we do. But it's also the Friday the 13th.
It is on Friday the 13th.
Whoa. In
And
October.
I know, fun.
Wild.
Whew, let's hope nothing happens. I'm very
No, it'll be,
superstitious. So
it'll be,
yeah, but 13 is like lucky for Italians.
it
So
is
if
true.
anything, it'll be the
It
best
is
show
true.
ever.
So, I mean, what else is going on? In the sense of, where the hell's the album? When's it coming?
Ooh.
I feel
We
like your fans are very patient. I could be wrong, but
thank God they're patient because
yeah.
I'm in the middle of like finding my well, I'm in the middle. I was in the middle of like finding my sound,
Hmm.
finding myself as a person, finding, you know, just my physical place in this world, what life is supposed to have in store for me. And like
Yeah.
again, this is all just very, very new realizations in the past, like literally 2 months, so they are very patient. I'm very grateful for that because I need it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the album will come eventually, but maybe there's another single coming out on the
Oh.
same day as the Montreal show. I don't know, maybe.
Oh, maybe. We don't know anything about that here. So,
We don't know anything about anything.
no, we don't. But that's exciting. I mean, and I feel like your fan base being patient and whatnot. Like I said, I've been following you since the beginning. So like we always see these snippets of your life and these snippets of songs that just come to your head.
Mm,
And a lot of us are like, release the music. This people, that's the message you get all the time, I'm assuming, is just fucking release the song, like.
okay.
But I mean, it's love because people want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah,
And it's like people are not bullying you, you know what I mean? From what I know anyway.
I don't think so.
No. And if they do, just send them my way. Um,
Perfect.
yeah. Just like a few questions here. You probably get asked this or have been asked this a lot, but who's your dream collab? Like it could be anybody.
Okay, I like obviously Julia Michaels.
Yes, you're a big fan. Do you know her personally?
No, I
Okay.
feel I'm always like three degrees away from her, like
Okay.
whatever the saying is. No, I no, but eventually I think it'd be fantastic. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Freya Ridings is also an artist that I truly love. Who gave me a little bit of advice on Instagram because she follows me. Don't ask me how that happened, but
It's always
anyways.
the best feeling when like someone who you admire is like, "Oh, I'm following you now." You're like, "What the?"
Yeah, exactly. So now,
Yeah.
now I'm just manifesting like a Canadian tour with her because she's
Yeah.
from the UK. And I'm like, that's totally gonna happen. And when it does, I'm gonna come back and be like, Gianni, remember
Yeah.
when we spoke about
I will
this?
follow you on tour.
Yep, perfect, perfect. I have no money for you, but like it'll be a
That's
good
not
time.
all. I'll take care of it myself. Like for me, like don't worry about me.
It'll be
Um,
fun though. But yeah, I think there's a lot of like, especially right now, I'm getting in a lot of writing rooms with people, but Julia Michaels has always been like a dream. Freya Writings, like I said, is incredible. Billy Raful is also a great writer and artist who we had the pleasure of opening up for in 2019.
amazing.
So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to write something soon and then work with that. But yeah.
Your first musical memory in your home,
Hmm. My first musical memory.
like the one that you can remember.
I mean, it's definitely not the first, but it's the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Um, so I really love School of Rock. It was like my favorite movie.
Yeah. Who doesn't? If you hate it, you're not right. Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
Like if you don't like School of Rock, you can't be
Yeah.
friends. If you don't like Jack Black, there's the door.
Yeah. 100%.
Don't talk to me. Yeah, no. But when I was younger, I had short hair that looked like Jack Black when he's Dewey Finn in School of Rock. Don't laugh at me.
I can't picture it. I don't know.
So bad. I was like, and I was like a pretty round kid. So my cousins and sisters would call me Jack Black, and I fucking loved it. I was like, yeah, I am Jack Black, and
That's
would
right.
go around the house just singing and being like, let's get it. And it
Yeah.
was ridiculous. And like, so the specific memory that comes to mind when you ask me this, which again is definitely not the first, there's like a video of me and my sisters when we had like digital cameras and we're
Hmm.
like, I don't know, doing stupid shit upstairs while my mom is working downstairs. And I like pass the camera and I'm like, let's get, and my mom is like, girls, keep it down. And like a bunch of idiots, we just crouched to the floor, like keep it, like get low.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is what she meant. We were just being little shits. Yeah, that's my little Jack Black musical memory.
That's cute. That's a cute one.
Yeah.
Is
And
that
then
one
they
of your
just
favorite?
gave up every cool factor that I'll ever have ever. This is a fucking loser Jack Black impersonator.
Um, would you say that's one of your favorite movies? Do you have another favorite movie that you want to talk about or mention?
Detroit Rock City.
I actually
Um,
just watched that for the first time this year.
what?
Yeah, I
You
don't know.
didn't watch Detroit Rock City?
Yeah, I don't know how I missed it. Yeah.
Mom, give me my fucking drumsticks,
Yeah.
please. It's the best. Sorry, I will obnoxiously quote all those movies. It's
That's
that's a
good.
great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that School of Rock, Almost Famous,
Oh
um,
yeah.
Almost Famous is great. And like the little hipster inside me wants to not like it anymore because it like blew up on TikTok or something, and everyone wants to be Penny Lane.
Yeah,
Um,
which yeah, it's Kate Hudson, it's no one else. And
yeah, yeah. And
but
it's a little. She was like 14 in that movie.
she looks really young. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but
But
her
I
character, I'm saying, was like
oh yeah,
14, which like is a little.
little icky. Little bit icky. But it actually is actually one of my favorite movies. And I don't watch it often, but when I do watch it, it's an experience. It's just the whole
Yeah,
time. It's like watching it for the first time again.
yeah, shivers
Yeah.
every single time. So good.
Um, when you've like traveled on tour or whatnot, going to gigs and things, what's one thing you never travel without?
Now I never travel without my steam inhaler. Oh my God. That thing saves my life. It's like a little
Yeah.
like hot box for my throat and my nose, for my mouth and nose, I guess. Um, and it's just especially my voice is really sensitive. I lose it all the time, and it's probably because I don't have the best techniques.
Hmm.
Um, and I haven't taken lessons, and I really should. But that really, 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 really helps, and I need it to, just to like be healthy and steam out the vocals a little bit. Um, yeah, there's a few things that I never leave without. I never leave without more than two stage outfits. I
Interesting.
mean, if I have just one, I will have a breakdown.
No, you can't. I feel like as a performer, you can't. You need to have a few options available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And like, I don't know if we've ever spoken about this, but I've like, I've overcome eating disorders and body dysmorphia. So it's sort of just like a safety net to be like,
Hmm.
okay, I love this outfit, but if I don't feel comfortable in it on this day, at least I have this option because I
Right.
know that it's like I say I overcome it, but it's sort of something that you always live with,
Hmm.
and it's sort of dealing with it and taming those demons. So, it's just another exercise to help with that.
Lovely. That's beautiful. I was thinking like it came to me like as we were talking, I was like, wow, that's nice. And yeah, we all kind of have our own shit that we deal with, I guess, with our
Hmm.
bodies and all that.
Yeah, that's why we have
Um,
to be nice to each other. Everyone's
yeah.
going through something.
I got a few more because we're running out of time here. Pizza or pasta? You got to choose one.
Pizza because it's quicker and I'm impatient.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a pizza boy.
Wait, are
Uh,
we making it from scratch or like
Uh,
ordering?
well, now you're making the question more complex. I was
This
just
is my
pizza in
brain.
general.
Yeah, but this is my brain. See, there are conditions
So,
for things.
no, we're ordering.
Okay, yeah, pizza.
Okay. What if we're making it from you just said you're impatient. Why would you make it from scratch?
True, but I feel like the art of making pasta
Hmm.
is more fun than the art of making pizza.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's
You get
very
the little nonna machine thing.
yes.
You know what I mean? You have
Yeah.
like a sore arm at the end of it because you're cranking it out.
Huh.
The pasta.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely a better thing to do.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, who actually before I ask this, what's your go-to karaoke song?
Uh, Spice Girls.
Sick. Which one? Like Spice of Your Life?
Yeah, Spice Up Your Life. And what's what? Oh my God.
Wannabe?
Yeah, Wannabe, but the other one, giving you everything
Yeah.
that makes me sweat, this I
Yeah,
swear.
that one.
That one. I don't
The one
remember
like
that.
Mel C goes crazy on it.
Yeah. I give you a little bit of sweat, just
Yeah.
promise it'll always be there. Is it always be
Y-
there?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm guessing it's Giving You Everything is the name of the song. But don't quote us on that.
Yeah, we are not intellectuals.
No, we're not. Who are you listening to right now that everyone should know about?
I'm
Besides
listening
you,
to.
obviously.
Please. I'm listening to a lot of Noah Kahan right now, which apparently everyone knows about because he's
Yeah, he
going on
just announced
tour.
the Bell Center show.
Yeah, isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
I have no idea who this person is. I literally
Yeah.
just saw this today.
You okay? We after this, you and I are gonna do a deep dive of Noah Kahan, and I'm gonna send you his early stuff, and then you're gonna listen to his new album Stick Season, and just well, Season of the Sticks, and you're gonna be like, oh wow, the growth. And I think what's really incredible about Noah Kahan is the growth in
Hmm.
artistry that he has, and in like his vocal ability, just some next level stuff. And I want to say his songwriting got better, but he's always been like a songwriter that is absolutely incredible. So another dream collab for sure.
Shout out.
Um, yeah, so I would say him, and I'm just gonna shout out people that I love. Alexander Saint is a great artist that, uh, yeah, if you should check out.
Hmm.
Who else is there? Mino is fantastic. May Wells is also putting out some new music soon. Um, and I've been listening to a lot of old Earth, Wind, and Fire, to be honest.
Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah, I know that's not like who's an artist you want to shout out, but like
No, no.
I don't know why I've never looked at their catalog aside from like greatest hits.
So
And I'm
let
like,
me
wow,
send you things from Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'll do
please
that. Yeah.
do that.
I'm an
Yes.
old. I actually just saw them a few weeks ago with Lionel Richie. It was great.
Well, I was supposed to go to that show in Toronto. August, did you go?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that was probably one of the best shows ever, huh?
Yeah, huge Lionel Richie fan, just growing up and everything. But Earth, Wind, and Fire as well. Talk to me a bit about the artwork for Back to Being Friends, because it's the first thing that like drew my attention.
I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah,
Because the artwork is something I worked on with a really, really talented guy named Mikey. So Mikey Lavi is a graphic designer slash creative director, incredible mind of a human being that is just incredible at bringing visuals to life. And I have a lot of respect for him. He's worked with Noah Kahan actually,
oh wow.
and Young the Giant, and he's from Montreal, and we have a lot of mutuals. So I reached out to him when it came to the visuals of not only this single and the singles to come, but just Cinzia The Eclipse as a consistent image, which has been really hard for me to come up with because I try and keep it as genuine and real and me as possible.
Hmm.
Like as human beings, we're so multifaceted that I'm like, how do I portray this in one visual and like one quote unquote brand? And Mike and I started working together, had a lot of brainstorms, and we ended up going to a studio and shooting all these singles so that the concept is really concrete and consistent. And when it came to Back to Being Friends, um, to me, this song really represents the idea of how like we're always begging for more time with
And
each other and in life. And we just sort of, it's so ironic because we don't necessarily appreciate the time that we have, like the present time.
yeah,
Like we're feel like we're constantly looking back or looking forward and we're never just here, which is something I really try to put into practice now. So when it came to the concept for Back to Being Friends, it's like, okay, well, what's something that we truly try to appreciate when we're present? And the thought of flowers came to mind and how we love getting fresh flowers, even though we cut them and they're gonna die, like
but
we
you
sort of
appreciate them in that moment.
exactly, but we're appreciating them in that moment. And there's a little vintage pocket watch there as
Hmm.
well, just to symbolize that um that visual of time and how we're either not being present or running out. Which I hate to say, I don't think we're running out of time. I think we're just using our time.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's the cover art for Back to Being Friends. Just
I,
getting
I
back to the time
I
of
love it
being.
because I'm a huge watch lover, and I first thing obviously I noticed was the watch, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I need to ask her about that,
Yeah,
and here we are.
love that. Love that. I should. Are you wearing a watch right now?
I am not, but I usually do. Yeah,
Yeah, I should probably get a watch. It'll make me look smart.
yeah, I guess like it's weird because we have our phones, right? So we're always like, oh, their time is there, but yeah,
Yeah, but then we
you
end up doom scrolling.
ah, horrible. That was me like last night. That's me every night. This is the part of the show that you get to plug anything you want. You got a single coming out, you got shows coming up,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
verbal, vomit, everything.
Wait, when's this going live?
I am hoping by Friday.
Okay, I mean you're live right now. Just
Yeah,
like,
this is right now. No, but I'm hoping by Friday.
um, yeah, new single out on September 22nd, this Friday, Back to Being Friends. And it's for anyone who's been through heartbreak that didn't have any anger or animosity after that relationship. So please go listen to it. Show in Montreal on October 13th. We're playing at Pitsy Campus. And we are probably maybe going to have another single out on the same day.
Right, but we don't know nothing about that.
We don't know.
No,
And then October 22nd, we're going to be in Toronto playing the Unplugged North show. Then we're somewhere else in another time of October. And then the 29th, I think we're playing in Waterloo. Just a lot of acoustic shows happening.
lovely.
You can follow me on socials to actually know when those dates are because I have the memory of a goldfish.
I highly recommend that you go follow Cinzia and the Eclipse on Instagram. Just also because the content is great, but I think your
Thanks.
your stories are what really makes people connect with you,
Mm,
and how you portray your songwriting abilities. And you're like, oh, you often post polls and you're like, oh, should it be this or should it be that, so you really love the input of your fans and your listeners. So
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's a big like shout out to you for that, because you actually give a shit, and like
Of course.
yeah. So I mean, you're doing this because you love it, like you said at the top of the show, and this has been a lovely conversation.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. Thanks for saying yes.
Of
Um,
course.
yeah, it's always a good time talking with you.
Yeah. So stay on. But Cinzia, thank you so much for being on the show. And be sure to check out Cinzia everywhere that she is. Go see her, download her music, and all that stuff. Talk to you soon.